morning and welcome to another edition of the CoreCommerce webinar. Today's topic is design navigation and choosing the right method for your store. Now, for customers in here that are existing customers, maybe you've been thinking about refreshing your design or changing up the way your navigation looks in your store. Or if you're a potential new customer that's watching this webinar, this will walk you through the different methods that we offer and what's possible. So I'll go ahead and get started. Core Commerce supports three different styles of navigation, and I'll go over those in just a second. The first question I want to answer is, why is navigation important? Like, what's the point of having it on your site? So effectively, it's the roadmap to how to get to different places on your site, right? It's the directions, it's the phone book, it's the Google Maps of your website, if you want to think of it like that. So having a good navigation that's not confusing and easy to view and see definitely will make getting around on your site easier. You don't want a navigation that's complicated and confusing to understand what links take you where. It's very easy to show people all the different things that you could offer, makes it easy to find. It also helps search engines, and Google will read your website. They'll see that top navigation in that list. They'll scan it. They'll understand how it works. And it gives them more textual based info about your website to index on their end, which ultimately helps the organic SEO and rankings of your website. The three different types of navigation, and that should say actually navigation up there at the top. The three different types of navigation are standard, the one column drop down, and the mega menu. The standard drop down is a simple navigation tool that shows your top level categories or topics in just a single horizontal bar. The one column drop down will take that one step further and allow each top level item to have one column of drop down links or sublinks that you can click on. The mega menu takes it one step beyond that and allows each top level to have multiple columns of data to display. That can be links, it could be images, it could be HTML that you paste in there. Many different ways it can work. The standard navigation is very simple to set up in CoreCommerce. And once you go to the design section on the left menu and click navigation, you'll check the standard box, and then you'll get to a screen like you see here on the left, where you can just create what the links are. You can tell me what the name is, what the URL to it's going to be. You can add more rows. So if you want more than 5 options, you can do that. And you'll notice there are a couple other options on that screen, but once you save that, you'll see something similar to what you see on this right-hand side, and it just shows those links across the screen. It's very simple, very straightforward. If you choose the one column navigation, it's going to go a little further. You'll see it that the screenshot at the bottom left, it does more of a drag and drop style where you can choose between categories, subcategories, content pages, or you can make up your own links that don't even exist and plug them into this tool. And this tool will allow you to create the top level. It will allow you to create the second level. As you can see, small candles is indented there. That tells the system that it's a subcategory of candles, if you can see that. And then in the other screenshot on the right-hand side, you'll see the actual output of what that looks like in a menu. Very straightforward. You can create links down. It's one column of links per top level link, and you see the example of what that can look like there. The third style is, again, what's called a mega menu. And if you look at the right-hand column and the two right-hand images, you'll see a couple of different examples of what you can do with the mega menu. So under candles, what I did was I just created a header called candle types. I created a link called small candles that links you to the small candles category. And I just put an image of a candle underneath it. And then I went under the pages link and I made 2 columns worth of data. Both of them have headers and some links, and one of them has some custom HTML, and one of them just has some regular text that I put in there. So you can see how that outputted, and it displays multiple columns of data based on what I told it to do. And then the screen on the far left, you can see a screenshot that I took when I was in the middle of configuring the mega menu that you see on the right. And you can see how I created candles as an option, and I was able to add a header element, a title element, as what it's referred to in the system. Then I added a link. Then I added an image. On the right hand side screenshot, I would have added two titles, some links. I would have used HTML code, and then I would have used one of the options called text. There's also other things you can put in here for horizontal lines. You might see there's a horizontal line in there, and there's a spacer which just puts some blank space between options if just for visibility purposes. So it supports all these different tools, and you push this out right, you can make a really cool looking mega menu that is pleasing, easy to read, makes it easy to understand where your stuff is on your website. And after that, I do want to show you, if you can see this, I want to show you the real life versions of those screenshots. So this is an example of a test store I made where here's the standard navigation menu. It just these links across the top and as far as it goes. Now the second version is the same website, but now I'm using the one column drop down navigation. And these are just old versions of this site. And you'll notice I mouse over candles, and now I see the link for candles. And this is the only one I added a subcategory to, so that's the only one that gets this little arrow. And the other options will work. If you don't put any links under them, they will, look and work very similar to the standard style, but it supports this functionality, of course. And then there's the mega menu, which now I went ahead and the same website again, just a different version of it. I can mouse over candles, and now you can see what I did. There's a link here to small candles. There's an image here. I could link this image to something if I wanted. I could add alt text to the image. In this case, I added just the number, just so there would be something there to show. Then I can mouse over pages, and you'll see it'll show these two columns. It'll show the links. It'll show the custom HTML I pasted in here. This was just some text I added. There's a spacer here that forces just some blank space in there for visibility enhancements. And that's essentially what it is. So those are the three styles of design navigation that the system works with. If you have any questions about that, feel free to ask me now. I will look at our Q&A section here in just a moment. But other than that, thank you for watching today's webinar. It's a pretty short one today. This is an important topic that people ask me about all the time. So I wanted to run through it and make sure everybody knew what those options were. We do appreciate all of your business, everybody that attended today's webinar. If you have any questions or ideas for other webinars that you'd like me to do, I'm happy to hear all of them, and I look forward to getting emails and ideas from you. Feel free to send me an email at Chris, K-R-I-S, at CoreCommerce.com, and I'd love to hear from you. And with that, I will stop sharing my screen for a moment and take a couple of questions if they're there. Okay, and I don't think we have any questions, so I appreciate everyone attending today's webinar. Thank you so much for doing so, and we'll see you next time.